Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm James, and you're watching Blue Dog Reptiles. Now, today we're going to talk about this little guy. This is just a baby, but this is a baby Sulcata Tortoise. If you haven't heard about these guys, they're about the third largest species in the world. They grow very, very large and live for a very, very long time. Now, they don't hold the record for the largest tortoise. That goes to the Galapagos, and there's another one. It's slipping my mind right now, but if you know what the largest one is, leave it in the comments down below. I swear I'm just having a brain fart right now. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Sulcata because they are a very popular tortoise, but I think that a lot of people just don't understand them or realize how big this little guy is going to get. Sulcata tortoises come from the Saharan desert, and they actually like it very, very hot. The awesome thing about these guys is they're herbivores, so they're gonna like hay, they're gonna like grass, greens, which are very, very crucial for their diet, as well as, so you need to make sure, and this guy got into the calcium, as you can see, but you need to make sure to incorporate calcium with D3 in their diet, which you can just sprinkle over their greens. You can say how big this enclosure is for them. We have the basking spot over there, and we have the UVB that's actually tucked up behind this. But there were 4 in here, but you can see this little one, and this is actually an ideal. So this is a 4-foot long enclosure, and this is actually very ideal for even something as small and as cute as this one is here. I love sulcatas. But substrates you guys can use for the Sulcata tortoise, you can use forest floor mixed with eco earth, and then sand or reptisand, which is also referred to as calcium sand, because they like it very, very warm. It gives them a great combination, and you can see, let's see if I can zoom in without putting my finger in the water, but you can see these guys got claws. This one is just a baby, but he does have those big claws on each side. And these guys love to dig. They love to move around. And so you need to make sure that the substrate is as deep, and you can see his little hole back there. But you need to make sure that the tortoise can actually dig deep enough into it where he can cover almost all the way up to his entire shell. And they do this for a couple of reasons. They do it for to get out of the heat, but they also do it because of the humidity that's actually down in the lower parts of the substrate. So you can see it's a decently deep substrate, and it's actually wetter on the bottom, and that's because these guys need 40 to 60% humidity during the daytime. Also, another thing, if you're thinking about a baby sulcata, make sure that the water dish for them is very, very shallow. These guys, because they don't have the height yet, they can actually drown if the water's too deep or if they fall in. And these guys are active little guys. And this one just wants to sleep, and he's like, just leave me alone. You can see those feet kick out. But when these guys scurry and get going, they move all over the enclosure and go back and forth. They're very, very little active little guys. Oh, you're gonna come see the camera? Yeah, you're gonna come over here? They're so adorable. Enclosure size, as babies, these guys need a minimum of a 4-foot long by 2-foot wide enclosure. Hi, little one. You're gonna come up and say hi to everybody. And that's because they are so active. Now, as these guys become adults, which, mind you, we'll get there in a second, but that takes years and years. I'll back you up so everybody can see you. But as adults, these guys are actually gonna need an outside acreage or a pen. And then during the winter months, depending on where you live, you might need to set up something in your garage so that they can come in and stay warm while they hibernate. These guys can grow anywhere from 18 inches. We're talking about their shell diameter here, but It can grow anywhere from 18 inches all the way up to 3 feet across. Now that is a big tortoise. These guys can weigh between 70 and 150 pounds. That's a heavy tortoise. I have a friend of mine that runs a sanctuary down in Texas, and he actually has to use a specialized ramp to bring them up during the colder months. But yeah, you can see those little claws. Absolutely incredible. Are you missing your friends? I know, they all sold today. But that's not even the real issue, is the size or even their habitat. That's something that can be accomplished very, very easily. The thing is the commitment, because these guys can live 80 to 150 years old. I mean, I hope I make it to 150, but it's not really plausible. And even if you have a young child, that child, let's hope, lives to 100 years old. I mean, that's still the life of, and let's say that's a newborn child, that's still the life of your entire child. And that's a big commitment. So before you decide on whether or not to commit essentially the rest of your life and a good chunk of your child's life to getting one of these little guys, make sure that you're going to be in it completely. Make sure that this little guy is going to be a part of your family for the rest of your life and for the rest of your kids' lives, because they are definitely worth it, and they have an amazing personality and they like scooting all over the place. But just make sure that you're including this guy as a new member of the family for a very, very long time to come. Now, light on these guys, you do need to make sure that they have an ambient temperature of between 85 and 95. Your basking temps are going to be between 110 and 120, and you heard that right. They like it warm. But remember, I said that's a basking spot, so the ambient temperature should be about 90 degrees. These guys, at nighttime, they can go and make it down to 70 degrees, which, I mean, they're used to in the desert. It cools off. And then, like I said, definitely need UVB. And when you buy a UVB, make sure that it runs the length of, you can see mine in the reflection of the black because it's up here, but make sure it runs the full length. That way, no matter where the tortoise is in the enclosure, he's still getting that UV light. As well as, it's very important for them to get out and get natural UV outside, as long as, you know, the weather permits. Also, and like I said, we talked about the deep substrate for these guys, but I mean, overall, these guys are amazing pets. One of the big things I do want to talk about, if you're thinking about getting a sulcata, is anytime you touch a sulcata or any tortoise or any turtle, salmonella is a really big thing. And so you want to make sure to wash your hands before and after you touch these little guys. Not only does it keep you safe, but it keeps your tortoise safe. And lastly, these guys do need soaked. I know people think, oh, it's a tortoise, they're from the dry plains, they don't need soaked. Yes, they do. They need soaked a couple of times a week, and you can check out to make sure that their body structure is good, that there's no health issues, that they didn't get like a piece of wood stuck in behind their leg. It's just a chance for you to give it to them, and it's really good to clean up your sulcata and make sure he's just overall good. Nope, he's gonna come up. So that'll do it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and this little guy. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Friday. Bye.